You thought Christmas started with Santa? Wrong. It actually kicks off with a barefoot fisherman who died on an X-shaped cross. Tonight, secret husband-finding spells, why Xmas is literally St. Andrew's fault, and how one apostle hijacked the entire holiday season, and nobody noticed. Grab your hot chocolate. This is the Christmas special you didn't know you needed. First, the calendar bombshell. Every single year, Western Advent begins on the Sunday closest to November 30th. Eastern Orthodox Advent, the 40-day Nativity fast, starts even earlier, but always after November 30th. That's St. Andrew's feast day. The church literally hits the Christmas countdown button the second Andrew's party is over. Coincidence? Absolutely not. Why? Because Andrew was the first apostle to say yes to Jesus. In the Eastern Church, he's called Protokletos, the first called. So the church says, if Andrew was the first to run to the Messiah, then we start running to Christmas the moment we celebrate him. He's the starter pistol for the entire holiday race. But here's where it gets spicy. Across Germany, Austria, Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Scandinavia, the night of November 29th to 30th is the wildest, flirtiest, most magical night of the year. It's called Andreasnacht, St. Andrew's Night, and single girls go full witch mode trying to meet their future husband. They melt lead and pour it into cold water to read the shapes like tea leaves. They throw a shoe over their shoulder. If the toe points to the door, marriage next year. They put slips of paper with boys' names under their pillow. Andrew reveals the winner in a dream. The bravest ones strip naked, run into the garden at midnight, and knock on the cherry tree. The direction the first dog barks equals the direction their husband will come from. Yes, this actually happens. Google it right now. And guess what shape shows up in almost every single one of these rituals? An X. The girls draw X's in flour, see X shapes in the clouds, carve X's into bark, because Andrew died on the X cross. They literally use his martyrdom symbol as Christmas magic. Speaking of that X, ever wonder why we abbreviate Christmas as Xmas? Most people think it's secular laziness. Wrong again. X is the Greek letter chi, the first letter of Christos, meaning Christ. But early Christians started using the X because Andrew's cross was already the most famous X in the world. Medieval manuscripts are packed with Xmas written inside Andrew's Saltire. So every time someone writes Xmas, they're accidentally putting Christmas inside St. Andrew's cross. And it gets even better in the music. Listen to these famous carols. Good King Wenceslas. The king sees the poor man on the feast of Stephen. But the very first verse happens, deep and crisp and even, right after St. Andrew's Day. The German carol, Es ist ein Ros entsprungen, links the rose of Jesse to Andrew's preaching. In Scotland, they still sing the Andrew Carol on Christmas Eve with the Saltire flying high. So here is the beautiful truth under all the fun. Andrew shows us that Christmas is not about being loud or famous. He was quiet, behind the scenes, content to point to someone greater. Yet 2,000 years later, his feast day literally launches the whole world's celebration of the birth of Jesus. The first called apostle is still the first one inviting us to come and see the baby in the manger. So this year, when you see an X on a Christmas card, when you hear the first Advent hymn, when some German girl is barefoot in the snow asking Andrew for a husband, smile, because the fisherman with the X-shaped cross is still running the show. If you haven't watched the full 3-part St. Andrew saga yet, go binge it right now. Links in the description. It will make your Christmas 10 times deeper. Drop Merry Andrew in the comments if this just became your new favorite holiday tradition. Merry Christmas, Happy Andreasnacht, and may St. Andrew send you someone worth keeping, or at least a really good dream tonight. See you in the next series. It's going to be even wilder.